Hello, I'm Makai Williams, and this is my public health project on e-cigarette sales and teens. Everyone knows about the dangers of smoking and regular use of cigarettes, but the same cannot be said about their electronic counterparts. An e-cigarette, short for an electronic cigarette, is a device containing a nicotine-based liquid that is then inhaled from the mechanism, and they come in a variety of forms. Electronic cigarettes heat the liquid in the chamber so it then vaporizes and inhales like traditional smoking. It seems like the use of traditional smoking has decreased and e-cigarette sales have increased. According to a study by the Associates of North Carolina University, e-electronic cigarettes entered the U.S. market in 2007 and with little regulatory oversight grew into a $2 billion industry by the year 2013. This is an astounding market jump for only 7 years, but what new demographic had they tapped into to rocket sales so vigorously? Sales tactics, data, and evidence from a well-reviewed study all point to teenagers as the highest growing e-cigarette consumers. Despite the legal age of tobacco and alcohol consumption being 21 all over the United States, millions of teens have managed to get a hold of e-cigarettes. Studies have presented evidence of widespread electronic cigarettes due to multiple factors, including the inclusion of marketing strategies such as flavoring and additions of colorful packaging, USB-like portable accessibility, and online retail. When asked why they believe young people their age use electronic cigarettes, the majority, 40% of respondents, felt that expeditious consumption and concealment were the primary reasons. Because they are so easily purchased and hidden, it has grown in population to teens, as well as the additions of fruity flavors that give a fruity smell, concealing the true nature of the harmful product. Many teens can keep this habit from their guardians, being that the main selling asset is its efficiency. Smokers receive a buzz from the tobacco product. Though recently the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, has issued a cease of manufacturing for flavored laced tobacco items such as candy, ice cream, and other sweet treats, many are still available on the market. Federal rules say that cigarettes must be sold in face-to-face transactions. That is so the seller can confirm the age of whoever buys the product. No such limits apply to e-cigarettes. This ambiguity of sales allows for internet distribution, thus making it appeal to a younger demographic of consumers. And one of the largest reasons for this pandemic of teen smokers of e-cigarettes. Juul is one of the leading vaping devices used by teens and was originally marketed with fun flavors. Can be charged in a USB port of any laptop or PC and looks similar to an Apple product. Manufacturers like Juul depend on this fascination and mystery to lure in teens, causing them to form habits and become dependent on their products, thus planting the seed of nicotine addiction. Another contributor to the popularization of e-cigarettes involving the market is social influence. Companies in big tobacco further use the internet as a tool by displaying their product and having it be endorsed by beloved stars. They've appeared on television and in magazines. Katy Perry, Johnny Depp, and other celebrities vaping electronic cigarettes. The social influence of profile celebrities only further normalizes the consumption of these devices to young impressionable minds. This is obvious in statistics such as this one. In 2018, the National Youth Tobacco Survey showed e-cigarette use among middle and high schoolers increased 48% and 78% respectively in just 1 year. Data shows that big tobacco is growing to be an issue and is not going anywhere unless a solution to these tactics for targeting are addressed. According to the CDC, smoke and secondhand smoke are responsible for more than 480,000 deaths annually. Life expectancy for a smoker is 10 years less than a non-smoker, contributing to the mortality rate. When analyzing statistics by gender, there is not much of a difference. There is a small margin between the sexes. 278,544 deaths annually among men and 201,773 deaths annually among women. Though earlier studies showed men are more likely to engage in illicit activities, including drugs, over women. The outcome of these studies show them to be ostracized. Deaths most common in smokers aged 35 years or older who die from smoke-related diseases include, but are not limited to, certain variations of cancer, heart disease, pneumonia, and tuberculosis. Smokeless tobacco is a known cause of cancer. In addition, the nicotine in smokeless tobacco may increase the risk for sudden death from a condition where the heart does not beat properly, ventricular arrhythmias, which is unique to the kind of tobacco consumption. There are many diseases associated with cigarette smoke that contribute to the fact that it should not be distributed nor advertised to youth. Tobacco use and product use is most common amongst minorities and those of a low socioeconomic status. In 2018, more than 3.86 million teens used e-cigarettes. When looking at disparity between the races, prevalence varied by region, but campaign targeting seemed heaviest in low-income neighborhoods. Tobacco companies have historically placed larger amounts of advertising in African American publications, exposing African Americans to more cigarette ads than whites. Despite their efforts, studies depict more smoking and smoke consumption by white/Caucasian demographics. The final contributor of tobacco smoke amongst teens to be addressed is simply their naivety. Because teens are highly impressionable and often rely on others to identify what is acceptable or healthy. According to a study by recognized reporter Monica McCutcheon, most teen e-cigarette users aren't aware that e-cigarettes contain nicotine, with 60% of teens believing that the device mostly contains flavoring, not cognizant of the damage it will cause to their still developing bodies. This is scary in retrospect to how many people ingest without knowing the content of the material they are taking in. E-cigarettes contain high levels of nicotine, which is an extremely addictive substance. Teens whose brains are still developing are more susceptible to addiction than adults, quickly becoming more addicted to vaping. This is severe because nicotine can impair the development of the brain, the powerhouse of the body, and contains a variety of chemicals that are harmful to the body. As a society, this problem must be addressed with more sources of knowledge for our youth to prevent them from smoking. In conclusion, the popularization of e-cigarettes and their intentional marketing towards minors must be dealt with. As the years have gone on, the problem has only grown in detriment and can only be solved with society on the same page. Declarations and laws can only have so much effect on the cessation, and change must take place in the eyes of the public narrative. Due to it being a public health problem, it should be solved with education, implementation, and laws, as well as community planning, because the nation is one large community against teen smoking. Thank you.